Alright guys, welcome to Module 7, maintaining your listing, your inventory, and your ranking. We're going to be going over a couple quick things that you can do to make sure you don't run out of inventory and lose money. A couple times throughout the year that you want to order more inventory, and shifting your mindset instead of thinking on average day-to-day sales, thinking about fourth quarter, thinking about holidays, thinking about certain hallmark holidays if you have gift items or items that sell better. For instance, if you're selling tools or you're selling novelties based around men, on age 25 to 65, you might want to think about Father's Day. If you're selling something that's female oriented, that may be a gift item, you want to think about February, you want to think about Valentine's Day, you also want to think about Mother's Day. So shifting that gear instead of looking day-to-day sales and thinking out the big picture about holidays, special occasions, holidays that are related in China, because now you have to think outside the United States because you guys are importing from China, Hong Kong, Thailand, all these different areas. So you guys have to think outside the box. The first section, I want to talk to you guys about scheduling shipments and not running out of product. You guys have made it more than halfway through the battle. You found your product. You guys are optimizing and working on your PPC. Now that you got everything dialed in and zeroed in, you do not want to run out of product. When you run out of product, you're going to lose money. When you're out of product, that opens the door and invites hijackers to come jack your listing or to jack your sales. So you don't want to give a hijacker any window of opportunity, and you most definitely do not want to have any time frame where you are not making money. This is the dummy one that we created in this new account here that we've been using. It is not obviously generating any sales because I've got it at an astronomical price where no one's gonna purchase, and we're not running a campaign. But where you would find the section where you're setting up reminders for inventory reminders or replenishment reminders is going to be right here where this little arrow is. You're going to click this, and let me see if it says it here. Add another condition, copy listing, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, so since we have no sales, it's not going to show, but it will say something like set up inventory alerts or replenishment alerts. I'm pretty sure it's inventory alerts. After you sell a couple items, it'll pop up, it'll appear there. When you click there, this is going to be real simple. There's nothing to even really go over in depth to show you how to use it. It's really easy to use. It's going to have one row that looks just like this. Next to it, it's going to have a little clickable menu, and it's going to allow you to set up your alerts based off of two different metrics. Number one, the amount of weeks or days that you have until you need to order before you run out. And number two, the amount of units that you have left. So if you want to set up alert, let's just say you sell 30 units a month, and it takes you about a month to source your product, have your product manufactured, shipped, pass your inspection, break through customs, be received to the Amazon fulfillment center, then dispersed to the other fulfillment centers where it shows that it's in stock. If it takes about a month to do that, usually it takes about 2 to 3 weeks depending on the product and the manufacturer's time frame. But let's just say a month, and let's say you're selling 30 units a month. I hope you sell a whole lot more units than 30 a month. But for argument's sake, you want to set up an alert for 30. So as soon as you get down to 30 units, boom, you're going to get a notification. You're going to get an email as well as an alert. It'll show up here in the flag, and it'll tell you, hey, you're down to 30 units, order more. So then you order that same day, and you will receive your shipment and be in inventory before that gets to zero. That way you do not run out. That's one way. The way that I like to use is based off the time frame. I usually like to keep at least 2-3 months worth of inventory in stock at a given time. Some of my top sellers I keep 3 to 6 months. But when you guys are just starting out, you only have the 5,000 units, so you can't max that. And you guys have limited resources. So keep 1 month at a time, or the amount of time that it takes for you to source, receive, disperse your inventory at all times. If it's going to take you 3 weeks or 4 weeks, you can put that information into the bracket, and it will calculate the amount of units that you're currently selling, the amount that you sold last week, the week before. It'll calculate that. It'll use a formula, create a formula, then notify you and say, hey, you're at that time where you need to order. So that's something I definitely recommend doing once you get the ball rolling, once you're accumulating sales and starting to gain sales. And like I said, you can find that right here in the edit button. The next thing, like I said, we already talked about holidays. If you're selling something that can be given as a gift or you're targeting gift giving, obviously the given is you want to make sure you have more when that holiday comes. Rule of thumb, fourth quarter or Q4 as you may see it is going to be, huge. It's going to be October, November, December. That's when all the sales spike. Okay, November, December, especially December is huge no matter what you have. Expect to do 3 times the amount of volume, so expect to have 3 times the amount of inventory. Now, you have the entire year. If you're starting out early, you have the entire year to build your inventory, build the amount of inventory that you can have. Amazon's formula is you must sell through 8% of the inventory you have at the fulfillment center each 7 days. If you can keep track with that or sell more than 8%, they will have no problems doubling or increasing your limit to the percentage that they seem fit or that you deem necessary. So keep that in mind. Also, you guys want to make sure that you're fulfilling more than that 8%. That way they increase the amount of units that you can ship. You want to have 3 times the amount of units for Christmas. And the last holiday, the big holiday, which this screwed me up. I lost an absorbent amount of money. These little tips that I'm telling you guys that you wouldn't think about are paying for the course. Believe in me, because I lost my butt on this. Nobody told me. I don't have any Chinese friends, any Korean friends, anything like that. I lost my butt on this. So Chinese holidays and festivals, their New Year's is different than our New Year's. Okay? Ours is December, the last day in December to the 1st. That's New Year's. We're off that one day, that weekend. We party, New Year, it's all good. Theirs are like 2 weeks. And some manufacturers take off from the 31st all the way to the 2nd or 3rd week of January. It's freaking nuts. So you'll see here's a chart. I just Googled Chinese holidays. You want to become familiar with these Chinese holidays that I'm showing you guys. You want to have a printout of this, laminate it, put it on your wall, save it, familiarize yourself with these holidays because you will be unable to source product during these holidays. So on top of gauging your sales per day, per month, per week, gauging your sales and making estimated quantities for different holidays and fourth quarter, you want to take into the fact the Chinese holiday. So here you'll see I already have the 2018 list pulled up. Here's New Year's Day. Okay, December 30th to January 1st. They're usually off. Then the Chinese holiday starts. Their Chinese New Year, you can see here, is the February 15th to the 21st. It's a whole week they're gone. So prior to that is fourth quarter, December. You're going to be going crazy. And then after December rolls into January, the whole week you can't contact a supplier. I mean, these guys, I don't care how aggressive they are through the year, they will not return a Skype. They won't return an email. They just fall off the face of the universe for that entire week. They're with their family, their friends. They're really big into this. Take my word for it. I lost my butt. I was out of product for weeks. I lost thousands of dollars, okay? So learn from my mistake with that. Make sure that you take into effect December is going to be huge. You're going to sell at least 3 times. Some sell 5, some sell 10, depending if it's a seasonal, depending if it's a real popular niche at the time. Make sure you're keeping track of your Google trends. Go over to Google Keyword Planner that we talked about. Look at the trends and compare January, February, March, April to October, November, December, and compare the trends, and you can kind of see the percentage of increase in volume. That way you can gauge, with this being your first Q4, what you need. But I recommend at least 3 times minimum. If you can afford more, it's better to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. Okay? So keep in mind Q4, fourth quarter, especially November, December, and then keep in mind the Chinese New Year. So here's a couple other ones. These aren't as long. You can see National Day. This is another one in October. This is freaking 6 days. So you got 6 days in October. You got December 31st to January 1st. Then you have February 15th, 21 to the 21st. Excuse me, I'm getting excited. this is super important. I wish somebody would have showed me this. This is going to save you guys a bunch of money. Keep track of your inventory. Set inventory alerts. Know how long it takes for you to source your inventory, receive your inventory, for it to pass customs, all that good stuff. Make sure you ask your suppliers, hey, in fourth quarter, November and December, should I add a couple more days, or are you consistent on this 7-day or this 5-day manufacturing? Or maybe you stock one of their most popular items and they keep this in inventory. Do not assume. The first 3 letters in assume are what? ASS. Don't make an ass of yourself. All right, guys?